Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, bahasham, quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, who are teaching this truth in sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim, that's out there on the four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Brakat the Yahawah, brakat the yahawashi, bahasham, quadash, brakat them. So, man, just take a look at what's going on. And we know Tuesday's right around the corner, and yet 2 false flag base shootings, And yet, at the same time that Donald Trump announced the oath of a so-called Iranian threat, to the troops in the Middle East, and that you have these other false flags going on. So they're up to something. And that they're chipping the homeless. As other brothers have already brought up videos, and I'll be re-sharing those and just a few here. But, man, just touching up on a few things while I still can, getting this word out while I still can, while the place I'm staying at, I don't live with others that are in this faith, but at the same time, finding other ways of being able to get on the screen, and still go out there and teach, even though what you see is what you got here, all my stuff is in storage, and so I just kind of move around, but you see that was just it, though. This was never our rest to begin with, so we were always kind of on the run, But now Esau's kind of living our life, As you can go the streets of Reading or any of them other places, man, you could see though that Esau has become the vagabond that he was always afraid of being when he was Cain. That he had to live as a vagabond. Now Esau's going back to the original state that he was in, because you see more homeless Edomites than you do Jakes around here. And just the place I was at earlier, man, you could see a tent right underneath, and I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna keep on stepping forward, Yeah, they're the ones living under bridges now. Though we've been in the projects almost this whole time, these curses are falling upon Edom. And these countries are now turning away from the hegemony, as we're approaching, some interesting times. And their whole idea is to put the chips into the homeless. And of course, you tell the homeless that there's free food banquets or whatever, man, they'll be the first to get it. That because they're desperate, So, yeah, the scriptures tell us, I will keep thee from the hour of temptation. You can see that's right around the corner, as I'm not in too far a shape as they are, because I haven't established a residence as of yet. I have a game plan, but Lord willing, that game plan goes through. But my faith is more in Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, that's going to take care of me, because I know, I already know what it's like to be down and out and not have your own place, man, to live that lifestyle, We've been subject to that our whole lives, because you don't own anything in Babylon. Any time, any day, whether you've been faithful or whatever, you played the system, you paid your taxes, you done all these things, and yet he could still shut you down. Esau could shut you down at any time, man. You have to have a permit to do this or that. You can't even fish legally unless you have a fishing permit, unless you want to pay the fine, because Esau fucking put a fine on you. So Trump is putting tariffs on all these other countries, which is all part of an elite plan to crash the dollar. So they're going, these other places are going with the gold standard and making deals with Moab and Magog. And so all that's going to come down. This devil's going to come down having great wrath because, of course, the hegemony's gone. And what do you think a wounded animal's going to do? Yeah, exactly. You don't pick up a wounded animal. No, man, you're going to get attacked. You're going to get caught in the crossfire. And that's what's happening, though, is that, now we just go out there and just going out there and teaching, man. They feel it, man. They feel the vibration of what we be teaching. They know that they are doomed. They know that they are doomed to sink very shortly. That's why most of them are killing themselves, as I was talking on the streets earlier. They know that they're doomed to failure and that they've been set up all along. So, like everything else, though, going to find other ways of putting this out there, which, while it's still on YouTube, subscribe to me on Daily Motion. Israelite Foreigner Reading. That's my Daily Motion channel. And, I'll see about the other ones if they're free or whatever, but of course I still got to establish residency, you know. So anyhow, you know, we're going to take a look at some other things, and I'll be back later.
Shalom. Apostle Harkman back at you with this truth, giving all praises to yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, bahasham, quadash. And I'm going to entitle this video, I don't know where I'm going to go with this, but I'll entitle it and see where it goes. A picture speaks 1,000 words, or an image speaks 1,000 words. And I see that we're going to have to start doing more videos, just to put that vibration out. Go back into the icon books, the Russian icons, and the different books that deal with the icons of the Israelites in Europe, and going back before the icons found in Europe, the images painted as the saints, the Israelites being so-called black people. Anyway, you see an image right here of this was supposed to be the slaves let me take a picture of it. You see right here this image of I'll put in Egypt. As you can see, and you see a number of images right here. You can see that the who was Israelite slaves in slavery for 400 years. Slaves, ancient Egypt. Israelite slaves in Egypt. The ones bound down are the Israelites. Slaves, ancient Egypt. As you can see, this is why they got set up guys like Vocab to come and attempt to debunk, you know, what we're teaching. And as I always say, Esau loses sleep. Image speaks 1,000 words. A picture speaks 1,000 words. Bear with me for a minute. You know, we're waking up to this nonsense. When we were young, you had every year the movie The Ten Commandments, and we as children and our parents never questioned that Charlton Heston was Moses, because we didn't know. Now we know. So the cat is out the bag, so to speak. The cat is out the bag. And this is why Esau, sends guys, like I said, Vocab Malone, to try to debunk this. You can't get this out of our head. You can't, it's already in our heads that we're the Israelites. This is another image. Actually, another group of images. Here's one. Let me click on this one, see what happens. Okay, this is Hebrews and Kemetians, which is Kemet, Egypt. The Bible movie, Ancient Egypt. Anyway, let me get a picture of this. You go down to the Met, and we might go back down there and go to the Egyptian section. When Vocab comes out to New York, he never goes to the Met and goes to the Egyptian section. Show you what color the Egyptians were. Moses passed for an Egyptian. So you can't get around this truth. Okay, this is a picture. The caption underneath says Hebrew Egyptians sold in America as slaves. Gates of Egypt, ancient Egypt slavery. So let me get a picture of that. Yeah, picture speaks 1,000 words, man. These icons. These different icon books. They showed you in these books. Back in the Dark Ages, as they call it, that the saints of the Most High, the Lord, the apostles, the disciples that became the apostles, the Israelites, which were the saints. They were all dark-skinned people with woolly hair and woolly beards. And this is from Google. I went to Google. This image right here is called under the image it says, was there an Exodus? And you can see that these were so-called black men. You can see the woolly hair, the afro, the roundness of the afro, the beard. That's us, man. I mean, I didn't know where I was going to go with this, but, thinking of an idea to make a video, and it came to me. Here you got these Christians talking about Jeremiah 14:2 has nothing to do with skin color. That the Lord in Revelation 1 verse 13 to 15, his hair was white like wool, as white as snow, was talking about his skin color. Well, the Most High is not going to send the Lord down in a glorious form, in his glorious body, with the disease of leprosy. That would be stupid. And the Lord is not going to come down in Daniel the 7th chapter and the 9th verse looking like a so-called white man, because that would mean that he likes being having the disease of leprosy. Yeah, this truth is kicking you dead in the ass, man. Yeah, this was there in Exodus. Let me try this one here. Okay, this is called Pharaoh's Workers, How the Israelites Lived in Egypt. And you can see that they're people of from a light brown to a dark brown. It says in Revelation the 20th chapter that you're going to deceive the world for a short period of time. Well, your short period of time is over with, because we're waking up to the fact that of who we are. You can't deceive us no more. Like I said, when we were children, the night before Easter, you would have your mothers or your next door neighbor, the mother of your best friends. She would take the hot comb and put the hot comb in your fro and blow it out. It's called a ghetto blowout. And you see Michael Jackson when he was young had the big fluffy fro. Well, you got that by blowing your hair out. We're definitely the people. And this is Pharaoh. This is called Pharaoh's Pharaoh's workers. Which was so-called black on black crime. It was so-called black people criminalizing other black people because they understood nations. They didn't say, well, you're black and I'm black, we're the same people. No. They understood that there were different nations. You had many dark nations, but they were different nations. Well, the Most High told us to, when we go to take the land of Canaan, to kill all the Canaanites. So we were so-called dark-skinned, dark brown people that came against other dark brown people, and we was delivered from another dark brown people. So the majority of the people on the earth were dark-skinned people, and the freak of the earth was Esau. The first so-called white man was Esau, which in reality he looked red because the red blood which we all have was evident. We saw that he was red, which he really wasn't red. He was really translucent. Light was able to translucent, look that word up. So he looked red. He's really not red, he's pale, or sometime white. Miriam received the curse of leprosy, and behold, she became white. Okay, this image, underneath it says evidence that proves black people are the biblical Israelites. I'm not necessarily reading scriptures, but I'm quoting scriptures, off the top of my head. We all know this, but we got to go back into it, man. We got to wake up more Israelites. Well, 144,000 in the elect. We got to wake up our Mexican brothers so they can stop saying, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, That dude's a bug out, man. But you know what? He'll be in the kingdom and he gonna feel bad. He gonna feel bad. His head's gonna be down, pursuant to Daniel the 12th chapter. But he'll get over it, you know. Yeah, a lot of our people, pursuant to Daniel the 12th chapter, they're gonna feel bad in the kingdom for a certain amount of time. But they'll get over it, and they're gonna take it out on you Edomites, because you Edomites are gonna be in the kingdom. Oh, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, you can't lie to us anymore. Yeah, we were slaves in ancient Egypt, Mizraim, and then we became slaves again in America. And then throughout our history, we were enslaved by other nations, the Babylonians, the Syrians. Moses passed for an Egyptian. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom and it's on to the next one. And what I did, by the way, let me go to the top. Let me go to the top of the page. I simply put in Israelite slaves in Egypt. I didn't put in black Negroid featured Israelites. I put in Israelite slaves in Egypt. And this is what popped up. All these images right here. And with that, what I'm gonna say shalom and it's on to the next one. Shalom.
So this is another video brought to you by yours truly, Dabu7, who's been up on this whole thing about this trade war with Moab, man. And you know that's going to bring the mark, this being the year Karagma, so check this one out.
Some updates to what's going on here with this trade war, so to speak, between the U.S. and China. And as I've mentioned before, this goes well beyond just China in terms of business that the United States is doing. All the farmers, all the businesses within the United States, they're finding out now that Trump has slapped tariffs on other countries as well, down in South America, across Europe, and this is affecting business as well. But in terms of China, they have a lot of different issues going on in the food sector. They're not wanting to face a food crisis. So what they've here recently done is say that we're going to waive or throw waivers on soy and pork because they need it so bad. And they don't want their people flipping out and chaos spilling out into the streets all over the place over rising food prices that they cannot control. But at the same time, China's making moves in the tech area. What they're doing is they're stockpiling U.S. chips. They're saying that this is going down because both sides realize that phase one of this trade deal has been delayed until 2020, until next year, and they say that China realizes that a tech war with the United States is about to erupt. Well, if they realize this, did you know that this was about to happen and go down? They will do this to then sit on them and then flood the market with their chips and kind of counter and have their chips all across the globe and in all these different locations. And really the only thing that the White House can do here is to ban Chinese companies from buying U.S. chips altogether, and they're saying that that is a possibility that's on the table here. Now, we've heard about the Huawei stuff drug into this as well, but this is the latest here as they're making a move and trying to snatch up massive amounts of chips. We'll see if they stop them dead in their tracks here, and I'll update as I get more information. But I'll leave a link below. Follow me on Twitter for more.
So either way, though, and you know as well as I do that Moab's going to push the RFID as well, man, because, yeah, man, they're trying to beat America at its own game. So, you know, this being the year Karagma, we're going to see even more in 2020.
We're watching Press TV's news review, where we look deeper into some of the top stories of the day. Stay tuned, everybody. On this edition of the News Review, the 14th meeting of the Joint Commission, which monitors the implementation of the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, has been held in Vienna. Representatives from Iran, as well as the UK, France, Germany, Russia, China, and the European Union attended the meeting. No details have been released about the content of the talks. The United States withdrew from the deal, officially known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, in 2018, and imposed sanctions on Iran in violation of the accord. Tehran started scaling down its commitments a year later in response to Washington's pullout and failure of other signatories to fulfill their share of obligations. Iran has said its nuclear deal stepbacks are reversible if other signatories find a way to relieve the economic pressure caused by the American sanctions. Well, joining us now on this edition of the News Review, we have journalist and author Daniel Lazar, who's with us from New York. Mr. Lazar, welcome to the program. What are your expectations for this joint commission, which monitors, I think it's safe to say, what's left of the JCPOA?
Well, I think the Europeans are under intense conflict, intense pressure from the U.S. To rein in Iranian power across a broad front, and now they're taking aim at Iran's missile program. But there's no reason to think the missile program is anything other than defensive, and Iran has a good reason for mobilizing its defenses, given the enormous U.S. show of force in the Persian Gulf. So as an example of how the U.S. is bringing pressure to bear on Iran, how the Europeans are obliging the U.S. by stepping up meekly behind their program, and how Iran now faces opposition from all the industrial nations, from the U.S. to the EU.
Political commentator Jason Unruhe also joins us now from Niagara Falls. Mr. Unruhe, I'd like to get to your perspective on what good could come out of this 14th meeting of the Joint Commission monitoring the JCPOA.
Well, hopefully the European signatories to the agreement will start fully living up to their obligations. I mean, that's what they signed on, that's what they promised that they were going to do. That if the United States were to unlawfully withdraw from the agreement, then they would make up whatever shortfalls that they would suffer as a result of the loss of the U.S. as a trade element. However, that seems not to have been the case, as they have buckled to much U.S. pressure. U.S. companies have gone through the direction of the U.S. government to threaten any Europeans who continue to carry out trade with Iran. Hopefully, there could be some kind of an agreement together that all these European forces could band together to resist what the United States is doing and continue the trade that Iran not only desperately needs, but that they already said that they were going to do. To hopefully, maybe their combined power would allow them to live up to their obligations, because there seems to be a bit of a divide among the European signatories as to whether or not they want to actually go through. There seem to be some that want to continue the JCPOA, and there are other ones that don't want to, and that seems to be a bit of a point of contention between many of the European partners. They don't want there to be an escalation of any Iranian military ability, despite the fact that Iran certainly has the right to do so, and not only has the right, but certainly has the necessity, a reason to do so, which doesn't even violate the JCPOA agreement to begin with. So I think that hopefully, I mean, these things usually don't turn out very positively, but hopefully the European signatory can come together and live up to their end of the agreement.
Daniel Lazar, why has Europe failed to live up to its end of the bargain with regards to the JCPOA? Does it lack the capability to uphold its commitments, or does it just lack the will to live up to it?
It lacks the political capability. I mean, the EU is constructed in a way that it is meant to be designed to be subservient to Washington, and that's increasingly obvious now, since the U.S. walked away from the JCPOA and leaving the Europeans in a lurch, trying to figure out what to do. And the only thing they can come up with is somehow to meekly assent to Washington's policies. I just want to emphasize that the destruction of the JCPOA is opening the door to a new round of nuclear proliferation, which none of the Europeans want. But yet that is exactly U.S. actions are leading to, and what their own temporizing is leading to as well.
Jason Unruhe, your thoughts on the same question. Does Europe lack the capability to live up to its commitments, or, as many observers believe, it has not been wholeheartedly in the deal ever since the United States unilaterally pulled out of the JCPOA?
I think the Europeans certainly have the ability to do so. State in the agreement, because they signed on to it. They don't want to have to deal with this escalating tension in the world. Then again, there also under the thumb of the United States, something that they certainly did set themselves up, and to a large degree they have to do, given the current structure, the current economic structure of the world. And I think that they're caught in this untennis position that they probably thought they were not going to be in. I think that when the agreement was initially signed by Obama, the European signatories felt that this was something the U.S. was going to continue, something that they were going to live up to, because it was the best non-hostile solution that the United States could get. And I think that the election of Donald Trump and this current U.S. administration has been very much a wild card with regards to many of the deals, trade agreements, and agreements like this around the world, and has thrown them into complete and utter chaos. So I think it's a fact that the Europeans now have to live up to that agreement, when they were probably under the impression that they would never have to, because it would never get to this point. But they've certainly turned out to be wrong in this case. So they're obligated to, but I think that they're stuck in a game of trying to please both sides in this conflict.
All right, thanks a lot, political commentator Jason Unruh joining us from Niagara Falls, and also thanks to journalist and author Daniel Lazar joining us from New York. With that, it brings us to an end here on this edition of Press TV's News Review. Do stay tuned, there's plenty more to come here on Press TV. Bye for now.
And here's a little bit more how Magog is going to unite with all those other nations to fight against the Most High, Yahawashi and the angels, because pretty much this one is Space Force is theater. So in a theater of events, a theater of operations, they're going to lose fighting Yahawashi and the angels. So let's hear it from Magog, because behold, Yahawah bahasham Yahawashi is against Magog.
Политическое руководство США вообще открыто рассматривает космическое пространство в качестве театра военных действий. И, соответственно, планирует там боевые операции. Для сохранения стратегического превосходства в этой сфере США ускоренно создают космические силы, которые в рамках поставленных задач уже проводят мероприятия оперативной подготовки.
So either way, though, pretty much, man, these men of war are drawing near, and that's why they're now chipping the homeless. So you just got to keep your eyes open to what's going on here.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahawah, bahasham Yahawashi, bahasham quadash. Double honors to my apostles, the elders, the great millstone, and rule well. Peace and salutation, all the Akhmer pushing this truth with our righteousness and sincerity. Shalom. This your brother Tazama Debar coming back with a real quick lesson. And today's lesson is basically, man, the up and coming plagues that's hitting America, homeless, and up and coming famine of food, man. So like all these things that are coming upon America is coming down the pipe, because America is getting hit, man. The Most High is cursing this place, man. That's why you're seeing the poverty is just getting worse. The famine of food is about to get worse. Trump pushed more budget cuts far as on these people on food stamps, SNAP, all these programs. And you got to think about with them doing this, man, it's pushing for that that RFID chip, man, that hour of temptation, man. And I'm just play this video. I forgot, Salaki brother, if I forgot your name, but I found this video when I was watching his page. He brought out some beautiful beautiful lesson on it, and I just wanted to lay back on it and the importance of things like this is happening that people are not paying attention to, man.
Out there always keeping us all informed so we can formulate ideas, put things together, and strategize exactly on what's going on out here, and basically put this big puzzle together to help other people understand what's going on. And so when it came to food, I'm thinking like, man, there's a lot of people on the streets now, and so California is I'm hearing more and more bad stories about how California is just loaded with just unimaginable scenery on the streets.
150 people become homeless every day in Los Angeles County.
They consider us criminals. That's the way it is.
We do need help. We need a lot of help out here.
They don't want us to be seen. We are people too.
Despite record spending statewide to address the crisis, it's only getting worse, and people are frustrated.
Then you got situations in other states. So here in Detroit, there's a homelessness community type of thing. And so I'm definitely going to start talking more about that because that's something I think we should shine light on. But yeah, the homelessness is something that our own politicians don't talk about. And I think it's part of their act to keep it hush, but it's more so a part of an experiment, a greater experiment that we're going to find out exactly what that is. So once again, this video is inspired by one of the community members sending me some information of this video right here.
I'm in here like, oh, we'll give further explanation like when you get to the warehouse. Yeah, some kind of chip, I guess. We'll explain more when you guys are already in there. Some kind of like device you put on your body. Yeah. And then all you do is scan, and then you don't have to like pay for anything anymore. You just scan. It's interesting. Yeah, it's like that's really fair. I've never heard of that.
But see how we break that over a month ago and have videos about it and articles about it and shows the documents and no one cares. It's like, that's just, that's just shows big deal, implant the homeless. But he's just up there nonchalantly talking about it all. About, they're moving us into this warehouse, we're getting microchips so we're all safe and everything's free and everything's taken care of. Everybody is totally freaked out about this.
And so basically it's a gentleman getting a haircut, it looks like in Texas, and he's talking about, I guess, a program or whatnot that's been introduced to him where he's actually smiling and making it seem like it's a good thing. And it has to do with the fact that if you have nothing, if you have no access to food, shelter, whatnot, then you'll be open to whatever comes your way, even if it's positioned as a humanitarian aid or if it's conditioned as some type of way of saving you from your own problems, you'll be more receptible to it. And so it looks like the whole concept of chipping the homeless to provide them with their basic needs, and it gets them excited about having their needs provided for while stripping away their liberties and freedoms and everything else. And so it looks like, according to this little video that I shared about the situation in Texas, Austin, Texas, about the warehouse where people homeless who were already chipped.
And this is what it boils down to, man. ZeroHedge.com, man. Perfect storm. Trump and man to cut 750,000 from food stamps ahead of recession. See, man, they're doing this practice runs, man. They're gonna start with the homeless, and they're gonna start with you damn people that depend on the government assistance, and they're gonna start with that, and then they're gonna keep doing more far as people that's getting pensions and checks and all these things. They're gonna keep doing it. They're gonna keep trimming you. It's called pressure from above, pressure from below, man, where you have to conform to the society, you have to conform to their ways. We're doing what, man? Getting the RFID chip, man. They're going to start with the homeless. They're going to start enforcing this chip, man. But, hey, man, it's the curses that's hitting America, man, because you got poverty. It's poverty everywhere. This place is corrupt. It's robbery, rape, deceit. This place, the financial structure is dead. The infrastructure is dead. So, man, Esau, he knows he has a short time. So, man, he has to push forth that RFID chip so he can get his New World Order intact, man. But the prophets, we have been speaking these things, Elder Apostle Tahar and various brothers, we speak about the RFID chip, the mark of the beast, which is in Revelation 13, chapter 16, verse on down. It speaks about this, man. And we're telling you, man, the Most High is sending plagues upon this place, man. I'm going to grab a few scriptures, man. Apparatus our Lord witness is edifying. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall be there in the field. And yeah, man, our people are cursed in the city and the field, man. And like here in America, you seeing it, man. All these homeless camps and shelters everywhere, man. It's just poverty everywhere, man. It said, cursed shall be in the field, and cursed shall be in the city, and cursed shall be in the field, man. That's why this place is the crops and everything is not growing, man. The GMO foods, like everything is being cursed, man. These curses are hitting Esau now, because the curses are still upon our people, but now they're starting to hit Esau and these other nations, man. They're starting to feel that pain, man. Like it says in Deuteronomy 30:7, all these curses shall come upon our enemies that hate thee, man. And it's Esau and these other nations starting to feel that pain here in America. Now they're starting to be out here in the streets, living in the ghettos, in the hood, in the gutter, man. Let me keep going. Curse shall be in thy basket, and curse shall be in thy store, man. So you gotta think about it. They're going to who? They're going for the government for assistance, man. But the government's doing what? It's putting them in these shelters and chipping them, man, and making them feel like they're wanted and they're needed. But at the end of the time, that's Esau's pushing forth his agenda, man. That's all Esau's doing. He don't give a damn about these homeless people, man. That's what he did. He did the economy like that so all these homeless rates would go up, man. He the one wanted the rich and the wanted the poor, man. That's why he did that, man. He wanted to cut the middle class, so the majority of these people that was middle class now they're homeless, man. And that's beautiful, man, because that's showing that this place is falling, man. It's showing that this place is showing that it's a nation divided, man. And that's beautiful, man. This is Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and write grievance which they prescribe, man. So Esau is putting forth all these legislations and things he has on his books, and using his politicians, using these tricksters to push forth his agenda, man. These lower luminaries, these lower Freemasons, he's using them to put forth his agenda. Like that Jake said, man, these politicians don't speak about the poverty and the poor, man, because they don't want you people to not even think about that. They want you to shun a blind eye to it, man. But yes, man, there's poverty everywhere. Everywhere in your local cities, you see all these people, homeless people walking around, man. Anytime you pull up to a damn highway, about to get on the highway, you see poor people, man. And mainly, keep it real, it's a lot of you Edomites, man. Them curses are starting to hit you, man. That's why I said curse shall be in our city, man. You saw this your fucking kingdom, and now look at you, man. You damn heathens are through, man. And that's beautiful, man. And they said, woe to him that woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, man. Esau, man, the Most High is going to destroy his ass because he's pushing for his unrighteous decrees upon this society, man. Which the society is fucking wicked as hell anyway, man. This is a nation of fucking evildoers, man. And 2/3 of jakes, man. That's why the Most High is going to destroy this damn place, man. We keep going, man. This is Daniel 8:25. Daniel 8:25. And through his policies, also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hands, man. So he's using his policies, he's using his politicians, he's using the Democratic Party, the damn Republican Party, his president, Donald Trump, DJ Trump, the vice president. He's using all his lower luminaries to push forth his prophecies, man. And I'm talking about the elites, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Oppenheimers, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, all the 13 bloodlines. They're pushing forth their new world order that they've been trying to establish since 1776, man. And so they pushing forth their agenda, man. They're using what? Their policies, man. They're pushing forth their agenda because they want that new order, that new world order, that Apple Pipe plan to get started, man. They want to get started on building their new world order, man. So he's pushing forth what, man? The RFID chip, man. The hour of temptation, which is written in the scriptures, man. And a lot of you jakes, man, you're going to be caught up in this thing, man, because you depending on Esau, because you trust in the shadow of Egypt, like it says in Isaiah the 30th chapter on down, man. You trusting in the strength of Pharaoh, which is the modern day Edomites, man. These devils, you trusting in them that they're going to bring America great again, which it was never great, but you feel like it's going to be more jobs and this place is going to be back so-called prospering, but it's not, man. This place is through, man. The morale of the camaraderie of this place is done, man. Look at the people, man. They're fucking sick. Everybody's obese. This place is through, man. And the Most High, he sent these plagues on this place, and it's going to keep getting worse and worse, man. That's why we say, call Haloyim La, Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, quadash, because this is beautiful, man. Seeing these people in this low, dumbed down state, man. And here it is, the men of the Lord, we had this wisdom, knowledge, understanding is true. That's upholding us and from being around you damn people, man. We're walking in wisdom because we see what's about to happen. We see the Most High is about to hit this place with missiles, man. And we see the hour of temptation. We see the RFID chip. We see the martial law. We see all these things and the chaos and the insurrection that's coming to this place, man. But you people are walking in blindness, man. You don't care. You don't see. You like being willfully ignorant, man. Like the brothers bring out. You people are willfully ignorant. Let me bring this back out, man. It's Daniel 8:25. And through his policy, he shall also cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart. So Esau is magnifying himself in his heart because he's about to have his agenda rolling, man. Because really through the Spirit, the Most High is forcing this man's hand. The Most High is really the one orchestrating this man to push forth his agenda of the RFID chip, man. But Esau in his carnal mind, he thinking he's doing it. That's why he's magnifying himself in his heart. He think that he's the one calling the shots, man, not knowing that he's getting controlled on the left hand by Satan, and Satan is controlled by who? Yahawah, Yahawashi, man. Let me keep going. And by peace he shall destroy many. So he's destroying these people that's putting in these homeless shelters, these warehouses. He destroying them. Why? Because you take the RFID chip, you already know what that means, man. You already know this. You setting for destruction, man. And I'm talking, like I always say, I'm talking about you Israelites, man. You set up for destruction, especially you Jakes that's homeless, that you have to go to these shelters for, depending on Esau, and you Jakes that's on food stamps. When he cut, you're gonna be out in these streets, really depending on a source, a place so where you can eat and have a shelter for your kids. You're depending on Esau because you're not depending on the Lord, man. So guess what, man? The Most High is gonna destroy your ass, man, because you should have hearkened to the prophets, man. Because Esau, when he make his cuts, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be more fucking homeless people, man. There's gonna be more fucking homeless people. Cause when he make a lot of these cuts, it's a lot of you Jakes, you're gonna get caught in that. You're gonna get caught in that first wave, man. You're gonna get caught in that first wave, cause there's gonna be more cuts coming with that, man. That's just an increment step, man. It's way more fucking people on fucking these food stamps, man. And a lot of it, you damn Edomites, man. You so-called white people, man. You the main ones that's on these welfare programs, man. All these welfare programs were set up for y'all anyway, man. But then they always trying to put Jake at the forefront of it, like he's the main one that's out here that's using it. But you damn Edomites, you set up to have these food stamps and have these Section 8s and have all these programs for you, man. This was all for y'all ass. But now guess what? Esau, your own fucking president, which that's why I say a house divided cannot stand. Your own president is taking your damn stamps and your Section 8s and a lot of your programs away, man. And that's beautiful, man. Let me grab one more scripture. Cause this is going in effect like right now. This is Revelation chapter 13 verse 16. I'm starting 15. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, man. And then worship the beast is the ways and the philosophies of America, man. That goes back to what? Rome, man. All these are the same fucking philosophies and ways, deities, all these ancient fucking pagan gods, holidays. All this go back to Rome, and all the in Rome's go back to all these other ancient empires that ruled in wickedness, man. That got destroyed, man, or got taken down by another nation, man. Because they wasn't rolling in the spirit of yahawah, bahasham, because the Most High wasn't dealing with them, man. Let me keep going. Verse 16, he calls all both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, man. See that, man? It says all, calls all small and great, rich and poor. So what he's starting with the poor, he's starting with the simple, and the people that really need, that really see them as America's really doing something for them, doing something that's advocating for them, but they're not, man. They're using them, man. They're using them just to put forth their agenda, man. So they're going to start with the homeless people, and then they're going to just start making more cuts where more people will be homeless, and they're just going to keep doing the same fucking thing, man, where they have to keep rolling you people in to get chipped, man, because why? You're going to need the food, man. You're going to need the food. So that's what the Most High is doing, and he's forcing Esau to do that, man. Esau's doing it, but it's really the Most High's will, man. And this thing is rolling, man. That RFID chip, the mark of the beast, is getting talked about on a world scale. Everybody know about the RFID chip, man, but everybody don't know if it's the mark of the beast or not, man, because that's the Most High is confusing them and keeping them in a blind state, man, because only the 144,000 that know this new song, man. They know the full doctrine, man. They know the truth, man. But hey, 2/3 of Jake won't know, man. 2/3 of Jake and these heathens don't know the truth, man. Let me keep going. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, say he had the mark or the name or the beast or the number of his name. Yeah, man, buy or sell, man. You see how I said you can put a chip in your hand and you can buy stuff here and you can get this and that, like the Edomite was saying, getting his haircut, man. And that's true, man. And a lot of people over in Switzerland, around America, a lot of these people got it, man. A lot of your entertainers and celebrities and your sport figures, idols, they have it, man. But they're not going to say nothing, but they have it. Because they're down for the new world order. They're down for Esau's cause, man. That's why the scriptures say you are your father the devil, and the lust of your father you should do. The lust of your father you should do to mean the ways and the things and that you want to prosper. You're doing the same thing Esau wants you to do, man. You're not following the ways of Yahawah, bahasham, you're following the ways of the devil, man. And John 8 and 44, man. So we see that Esau is pushing forth his agenda of pushing the RFID chip, and he's pushing forth this society to keep crumbling, man. Like that article said, the up and coming recession. These devils know a recession is at hand. They know the dollar is about to collapse. So what they're doing, man, they're starting now to start pushing and making a lot of budget cuts so they can keep pushing forth that RFID chip. So it'd be easy for them to go ahead and slide that in when the economy crash, man. And you can see that's what Esau's doing. He's making it more accessible and easy. So when the economy crash, all he's going to do is say, hey, look, just take the RFID chip, take the chip. Because a lot of people that was in the shelters, they already had it, man. A lot of people that got caught in that wave with a lot of budget cuts, they already got it. And they're going to be making it like it's very cool and very, very accessible and easy for them, man. But it's not, man. That's why the Most High deceived you damn people, man. But you know what I'm saying? Operators, Lord willing, this is a quick edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, bahasham, quadash. I don't say call, hello, yamlah, Yahawah, bahasham, yahawashi, bahasham, quadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders, a great millstone to rule well. Peace and salutations to all the occupants pushing this truth with all righteousness and sincerity. Shalom.